And joining us right now is the former governor of the state of New York and, of course, current Republican presidential candidate, Governor George Pataki. Good to see you, sir.
Steve, nice being back.
All right, and I almost hate to start the interview talking about Donald Trump, but of course, he is the man of the hour. He is leading in the newest CNN poll with now 32% of the vote, followed by Ben Carson. So it seems like no matter what we talk about as what some consider outrageous or whatever, he just keeps going up. So he said what he said about Carly Fiorina, tried to explain it away, whether to your satisfaction or not. Let's start with that one. What's your take on that?
I think he has been demeaning towards all different groups throughout this campaign, whether it was Mexicans, African Americans, women, again, demeaning towards women, and I don't think he is qualified or fit to be president of the United States. You said he's the man of the hour. I hope that's the case, because
well, maybe, I didn't mean it that way.
I know you didn't, but I took it that way, and I hope that's the case because this country faces serious problems. We need adult leadership that's going to solve those problems. That's why I'm running.
And you know, Ben Carson, the situation with Carson where, and again, whether Carly fired first and Carson fired first, that may well be true. But Ben Carson certainly is one of the finest surgeons we've ever had, neurosurgeons we've ever had, the first to separate conjoined twins at the head. You know,
I mean, it's just his comments are ridiculous, and it's great theater, it's great entertainment, but ultimately it's not what we need in a president.
And you wrote a letter to every other of the crowded field of Republican candidates about a month or so ago, asking them to what?
To reject Trump's hateful comments where he called Mexicans rapists and thugs. I understand we have to control our border. I understand we have to have a policy to deal with those who came here illegally. But to demonize an entire nation of people like that, it's just, forget about being unpresidential. It doesn't, in my mind, render you at all fit to be president of the United States.
Nobody took you up on your offer.
Rick Perry responded. He didn't write, but Rick Perry was the only one who came out and said, yes, Trump's comments are
Well, what does that say? Are they afraid of him?
You know, if you're afraid of Donald Trump, how are you going to stand up to Ayatollah Khamenei? You know, we need someone who is willing to say what is right for America, not what some pollster or consultant tells.
But a majority of Republicans now feel that he will be the nominee.
That's now. But I think what it comes down to is that people are fed up with politicians needing a poll, needing a consultant, speaking out of both sides of their mouths, and they're looking for freshness and somebody who's not a captive of the Washington mentality. It's not Donald Trump. He may sound that way, but you also need someone who can actually run a government and solve problems, which is why I'm running.
I know, and you know have told from the get-go. You said, I said you've been out of politics for over 10 years, yes, and you thought that was a good thing.
Yeah. You know, I've seen government from the outside, from the private sector. Obviously, I had great experience leading the state for 12 years, but having seen it from the outside, I had that same sense that Washington is a foreign country, that both parties are complicit in having a tax code that protects the powerful and the lobbyists and the special interest. We have to throw it out, lower the rates, reduce the size of Washington. I can do that. Donald Trump can talk about it. He's never going to do it.
Do you think he hates women?
No, I just think he has this knack for being able, at the moment, to disparage and demean anybody who comes to his mind. If it's women, if it's Mexicans, if it's African Americans, if it's me, I'm sure if he saw this, he'd go off on a tyrant about how awful I am. It's just who he is.
Which he's done before.
Which he has done, and I'm sure he will do again. It's great theater and entertainment. It's not leadership. It's not what we need.
Two issues. Iran, first and foremost. I mean, that the Senate might not even vote on this and get cloture.
It's appalling. And I've never seen such a partisan approach to foreign policy. Forget about the fact that almost no Democrats are supporting this so-called deal with Iran. To not even allow the American people to vote is reprehensible. I mean, sure, stand up and be counted. Vote no, vote yes. Say you have the courage to give the leading sponsor of state terror $150 billion to use against us and Israel, but don't hide behind some procedure and not even allow a vote. That is a disservice to the American people.
I mean, the lunacy of this. I mean, I could play you a soundbite of Kerry from all the lunatic things that have been said, where he said, if we don't approve this, then the Ayatollah will never trust us. What? That's what we're trying to do, is make the Ayatollah trust us?
You know, Steve, it's like the world is upside down.
Right.
We're trusting Iran and giving them economic relief. We're going and cowing to Cuba, you know, without getting anything in return, going down, opening an embassy, meeting Castro, who is a leading anti-American thing, and yet we won't even talk to the Prime Minister of Israel, our ally. We won't even help the Egyptians who have called for reformation in Islam to reject radical jihadism. It is just the world turned upside down.
Okay, Hillary. You know, Bernie Sanders now leads her not only in New Hampshire, but in Iowa now. And, you know, her explanation, her quote-unquote apology. And yesterday, the Justice Department argued in court that Hillary doesn't have to turn over any more of the quote-unquote erased emails. She did nothing wrong by doing that. I mean, is she going to, I mean, she's suffering with the voters. Is she going to suffer legally here?
She should. I think we need a special prosecutor. You just pointed out how this administration's Justice Department is trying to cover it up for whatever reason. And I don't trust them one iota. Appoint a special prosecutor. This involves top secret communications, including apparently with North Korea's nuclear capability.
She said, oh, everybody knows about that. That was her answer.
It's top secret, and that is a crime. I do not trust the Obama Justice Department. Appoint a special prosecutor who can get to the bottom, and if they do, I believe she will have to plead guilty to a crime.
Are you going to be in that CNN debate?
I am.
In the
earlier debate.
The earlier debate.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's your goal next week?
My goal is simply for the American people to understand that I have the ability to bring people together, lead the country. You know, people are going to be talking about all the things they're going to do. They're not going to be able to do them. And that's one of the things that frustrates voters with politicians. I have a record of doing things regardless of the makeup of the legislature. And, you know, tomorrow's September 11th. And I want them to appreciate the risk we are under from radical Islam and from terrorism right now. We have to be far more proactive to protect our freedom.
And you will be back with me tomorrow to talk more about the anniversary of September 11th. Thank you, Governor. Great to see you. Good luck in the debate.
Thank you, Steve.
Governor George Pataki, ladies and gentlemen. Up next, the Malzberg panel with Jane Velez Mitchell and Tom Borelli. You won't want to miss this. We're coming back.